Hi guys, welcome. We are about to start our predator prey lab. So in a little bit, another day, we are actually going to study the interactions between different organisms. So what we're talking about with the ecology, we talked about how we interact with the environment, the abiotic and the biotic things of an ecosystem and how they kind of depend on one another. That's what you did Monday. But today I'm actually going to show you how to set up for a lab, and I'm hoping that you're going to be able to do this on your own because all you need is pieces of paper, really. So if you've got notebook paper, you can do it there, and then you're going to run the different trials by yourself. So what we're going to do today, I'll show you how to do it, and then you'll kind of get started and do it on your own and collect your own data there at home, okay? So here's how it works. We have two different kinds of pieces of paper. I've got my meadow right here. Now this is where my organisms are going to interact together. Right here is my meadow. It is a 11-inch by 17-inch sheet of paper. In this case, I've just sectioned off a piece of the desk right here. So this is my meadow. This is where my organisms are going to do their interacting. And then I have got 2.5 by 2.5 pieces of paper right here that are actually wolves. And now I have wolves printed out on them like this, but because they're different sizes, all you really need is a 2.5 by 2.5 piece of paper. This is cardstock. It could just be, again, your sheet of notebook paper there. You need about 30 of them, although I think 30 is overkill. I'm pretty sure you're going to be fine with just 20, okay? And then you also need 75 1-inch paper squares or the bunnies. Can you see the size difference between my bunny and my wolf? And again, I have a bunny printed on here, but you don't need a bunny. You just need an inch paper versus a 2.5-inch paper. And you can even see I didn't cut these very well. So that's what you need to do your lab. That's your supplies, and then you need a Excel sheet, which I provided for you inside your Canvas module. One second. Let's share the screen so you can see what we're looking at. Here's the screen. This is your Excel sheet. Remember, you're going to file, make a copy, make your own copy. Make sure you change the share settings right here so that I can see your work later. The only thing you're going to be editing inside this box or this Excel sheet are these yellow boxes right here. And they go on. This is a very large Excel sheet. We're going to do about 20 rounds of this. If by chance my first class tries to do it tomorrow and it takes too long, we will cut it out at about 15 or possibly even 10 rounds, okay? So hold tight for how many you actually have to do. I will put it on the assignment sheet once my first class gets done at 9 o'clock. Okay, so now here's what we're doing. And there is a student copy of the instructions on there for you. They are a little bit confusing, which is why we're making the video as well. So the wolves, or the large squares, will be randomly dropped onto the meadow, covered in bunnies to represent wolves catching and eating bunnies, which is necessary for the wolves to survive and reproduce. This process will be repeated for 20, debatably 10 or 15 rounds. In each round, a varying number of wolves will be dropped onto a population of bunnies. The population of wolves and bunnies in each round will depend on the previous round's result. It is necessary to assume certain requirements for both species survival and reproduction. In the simulation, we will use the following assumptions. A bunny does not survive if it is eaten by a wolf, which is represented by a wolf, my bunny, which is represented by a wolf touching or partially touching the bunny. They're touching, my wolf would not, or my bunny would not survive. I'm thinking so we can zoom in so you can really see what's going on here. Okay, so my bunny is not going to survive. The wolf has touched it. A bunny reproduces or generates a single additional bunny in the next round only if, after the entire population of wolves is thrown into the meadow, it has not been eaten. So if I throw all my wolves and this bunny has not been eaten, then I get to add another bunny for the next generation because it reproduced. If no bunnies are left surviving after a round, 3 new bunnies repopulate the meadow by migration for the next round. A wolf being thrown into the meadow, it has eaten less than 2 bunnies. So if my wolf only had that bunny, even though it ate, it didn't survive, that wasn't enough food for it. It didn't make it. A wolf reproduces, though, or has its own baby wolf if it eats more than 3 bunnies. If no wolves survive around, a single new wolf will migrate into the meadow and attempt to catch bunnies for the next round. Okay. Here's how it's going to work. So now you're going to go to that Excel sheet that we're looking at right now. And you are going to put down how many bunnies you would like. We are going to put, for our very first round, 3 bunnies. You see, it's right there. Bunnies to add, 3. Okay, so we start off with 3 bunnies. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, they're supposed to be randomly without, so you're going to scatter them. So this is how I'm going to do it. Close my eyes, let them fall. Hopefully they don't all fall on one another, but if you're really doing it randomly, then you can't have it. Okay, now you're going to then randomly, without aiming, drop a wolf. Close my eyes again, drop my wolf. It didn't even make it on the table, we'll try again. Okay, my wolf didn't end up hitting, it hit a bunny, but it moved away. So it didn't make it. I'm sorry, the wolf died, but again, remember one migrates in, so it comes back. You're gonna record the results into your data sheet. So wolf 1 caught 0 bunnies. Okay, now we go back in. Wolf number 2. So we have another wolf. Remember, it migrated in. You're gonna drop it. Did it hit any bunnies? No, not this time. And you'll go down through the line. Oh, bunnies added in the meadow. So I would add 3 more bunnies now after my first round. So that 1 died. You randomly add 3 more bunnies to this. Okay, and a hare, you. Okay. So we've added 3 bunnies because that orange thing told us that we needed to add 3 bunnies. Now our wolf migrated in, so remember the other one died, and we're gonna randomly drop it. It hit 1, 2 bunnies. Unfortunately, that was enough to survive, but not reproduce. Okay, let's check our rules again. Oh wait, sorry, that wolf doesn't live again because it only killed 2 bunnies. Now we randomly scatter 3 additional bunnies into this round. Randomly. Okay. So 2 bunnies were caught. Okay. 2 bunnies were caught. Good. And then you keep going for 20 rounds. Okay? So you're going to keep going and keep going until we've got wolf number 30. Got it? Checking to make sure we're doing this right. Good. Okay, so it's going to automatically calculate some stuff for you. That's good. That's wonderful. You're going to work your way through the different rounds. Okay, so there are 20 rounds. Pay attention to this blue number, bunnies to add, number of bunnies in the meadow, wolves to start. Make sure you're adding bunnies each time, adding wolves each time. All that good stuff. We are probably, most definitely, not going to get through 20 rounds. Our goal here is how about 6 rounds by yourself. So I will go in and edit this data so that you are only seeing 6 rounds. Now so all you have to do today is collect your data. So you're going to create this lab. So 1 inch bunnies, 2.5 inch square wolves, and you are going to go through these rounds. Now tomorrow, you're actually going to use the data that you've gathered to create a chart that looks like this. You're going to use this chart and this information right here to help you answer some post-lab questions, but that is for Wednesday. I will go over again. We're going to interpret the data and see what we learn, all right? If you have questions, because I know this was a little confusing, please email me. But again, you might not have the tape, so you can just section off area, right? It can be general, it doesn't have to be exactly 11 by 17 inches. It can be general, try to keep it in the same space. Like this is even larger than 11. 11 is probably only right here to my meadow. So if you imagine maybe 2 pieces of notebook paper could be your meadow. These can just be made out of notebook paper as long as they are only an inch, 1 inch by 1 inch, and these can be made out of notebook paper as well. They're 2.5 by 2.5 inches. Okay, so this is definitely a lab you should be able to recreate on your own. Make sure you're reading in there how to do these. The steps are in there. They start on page 4. You will be data manager, bunny manager, and wolf manager. This is definitely a fun lab. I did it growing up. We are going to do the concept questions on Wednesday. Again, you're only going to be doing 6 rounds of this. Okay? Good. Fantastic. All right. Email me with questions. Again, it's a pretty easy lab once you get into the hang of it. Okay. Sorry, excuse me. Have a good day, guys. It was nice to see you.